This is the Mercedes AMG S63 E Performance, and it is the most powerful luxury limousine
in the entire world.
And in this video, I'm going to review it because I'm Matt Watson and you're watching Car Wow. Buy, sell,
Car Wow.
AMG has tweaked the design of the S-Class to make it more aggressive for this S63. So you've got the big AMG grille here, huge air intakes in the lower part of the bumper, and the first time ever on an S-Class, instead of a three-pointed star, you have the Alfalfa back badge. Moving down the side, 21-inch alloy wheels as standard. I love the design of these. Looks so good, though I think they might be easy to curb. You've got your V8 bi-turbo badge there with the addition of E-Performance to signify this is a plug-in hybrid. Lots of chrome going on this car, so while it's a performance vehicle, it's still very much a luxury limousine with plenty of S-classy elegance. On this side, you have an extra flap. There's another one on the other side, like a normal S-Class. But in here, that's the charging port for your 13 kilowatt hour battery, which will give you an electric only range of 21 miles. And it can drive on electric power alone at up to 87 miles an hour. Here at the back, you've got your AMG badging, your S63, which is surrounded by red once again to signify it's the E-Performance model. But you still have 4 huge quad tailpipes, which are a bit of a lie because if you look closely inside, you can see the slightly smaller real tailpipes in there. Classic Mercedes. Tell you what though, absolutely love the colour of this thing. A beautiful blue metallic. Here on the inside, there are 2 main changes over the normal S-Class. The first is the fact that you get an AMG Sport steering wheel with lovely metallic paddle shifters. You also get these little dials here to control the car's various driving modes and functions. Also on the dials here, you have some specific racier dials. So if I just engage that, I can go to Sport and Super Sport and track pace. Ooh, yeah, because I'm going to be tracking my S63. Oh, also you get AMG special leather, a standard. You can have it in different colours, including this rather lovely brown. There's AMG on it there, and you've got the Alfalfa back logo again on the headrest. The seats themselves are just the same as the normal S-Class. They're not sport seats, they just have the leathery nice and the badging. That's it. I'll tell you what is quite a bit different than a normal S-Class, and that's the boot capacity. So normally an S-Class has 550 litres of space. However, the hybrid version, because it has batteries underneath the boot floor, has 350 litres of space. But this S63 version only has 305 litres of luggage space because that big powerful electric motor just takes up a bit more room. 305 litres in an S-Class, a car this huge. An A-Class has 370 litres of space. This is ridiculous. And it brings me on to 5 annoying things about this car. The brakes are really, really grabby. You just touch the pedal and it's like a bit jerky. I think it's to do with the regen effect. It's not very natural feeling. Also, for some reason, sometimes when you're slowing down, you feel like you're slowing from the front of the car, but the back's still pushing you forward. Reminds me of when you're trying to get on the London Underground and it's really busy and you try not to like mount the person in front of you, yet someone behind you is like pushing you on the train so that they can get on too. It's odd and not very S-classy. This is one heavy car. It tips the scales at 2,520 kilos, and you can start to notice it when you try and drive it like a proper AMG car on a twisty road. This car's exhaust sounds promising. Listen to it, it's in sports mode now. But if you try and rev it out high, there's a soft limiter that stops your fun. Go on, rev it. Hold it on the limiter. Look. Is that on the limiter? Do it again. I mean, look at that. Why, Mercedes, why? Things could have been so much better. Because of the electric technology fitted to this car, it's rather expensive. More expensive than you probably imagine. It costs £186,000. On a normal S-Class, you can get rear wheel steering that can turn the back wheels at an angle of up to 10 degrees. You have to pay extra for that, obviously. As standard though, it can turn up to 4 degrees. On the AMG version, it can only turn up to 3 degrees. Not sure why that is, but it is what it is, as they say. Thankfully, this car has plenty of cool features to help make up for all this. Here's 5. You have a bunch of different driving modes which you can access easily here using this dial, from Sport Plus, which is most aggressive, then you have Sport, which is slightly less aggressive, Comfort, which is just more chilled, relaxing, and will drive mainly on electric power where it can, and if you want full electric power all the time, you go into EL mode as long as you've got enough battery, which brings you on to B mode, which will battery hold, so that you can save some battery for if you need to drive silently up your driveway after you're returning from being with your mistress and you don't want your wife to know, Individual, so that you can just set up the parameters exactly as you want them, or slippery surface mode there, signified by a little snowflake. Also though, you can just cycle through different parameters on the fly by using this mode here, so the different suspension settings, whether you're in manual or auto mode, and other bits and pieces such as the sound from the exhaust and the sort of fake noise that you get for the electric system. This is the first S-Class to get active engine mounts to stop the engine like wobbling about all over the place while you're going quickly and affecting the dynamics. Also, the S63 is fitted with some extra chassis bracing. The S63 gets a limited slip differential on the rear axle to improve corner exiting traction. Also, the car can use the electric motor to act like ESP, so rather than like braking the rear wheels to stop a slide or that, it uses the motor to control it, which is just better, apparently. There's active anti-roll bars as standard, so they keep the car nice and level when you're going around a corner, so it doesn't lean about all over the place. But then when you're going on a straight road, they just relax like that, so that you can go over the bumps and it feels all S-classy still. The electric motor can actually send power to the front axle as well, so it's not just driving the rear axle. Plus, it has a 2-speed gearbox to make the most of its performance. You've got a 4-litre twin-turbo V8 which puts out 612 horsepower. However, on the rear axle there's an electric motor which puts out 190 horsepower. Combined, you have a maximum of 802 horsepower and 1,430 newton meters of torque, and that drives all 4 wheels via a 9-speed automatic gearbox. 0 to 60 takes 3.3 seconds, and top speed is up to 180 miles an hour. To cope with all the performance, the S63 comes with carbon ceramic brakes as standard, 400mm discs up front gripped by 6-piston calipers and 380mm at the back gripped by a single piston caliper. Driving on the motorway in this car is quite interesting. So if you have it in comfort mode and you're going down a slight decline, sometimes the car just shuts off its engine, save fuel. Just run on the electric motor. The problem with that though is that if you suddenly think, oh right, now I need to suddenly overtake someone or accelerate, look now, it's in comfort mode, on the electric power, I'm going to floor it, floored it. And it took that long, 1, 2, 3, for it to start the engine up again, and then it to actually rev up and start providing proper AMG power. I was left just floundering in this big heavy car with just 190 horsepower from the electric motor. It just seems wrong. Look, it's doing it again. Comfort, look, comfort, just cruising. Oh, I want to suddenly overtake or get out of trouble or something. Here we go. I'm going to floor it. Now, here comes the power. I'm not sure that's great. Now, when you are just driving along and the engine is engaged and working away in the background, it's all right. So I'm going to floor it now. So I'm in 7th gear. Not such a delay. And another thing I like is that if you just want to ease past someone, then it does that using the electric motor, because then 190 horsepower is enough. So I just want to ease past this car. There we go, I'm doing it on the electric motor. And so the car's not really caning it, you're not using a load of fuel, you're just easing past and the electric motor's doing the work. But the thing about an AMG is that you want it there to respond and go quick at all times whenever you ask it to do that. And this system won't always give you that, depending on the circumstances. Look, it's done it again. Look, it's turned off the engine. I'm in comfort mode. I'm going to floor it now. There's the power. I mean, you can drive this thing on electric power alone up to 87 miles an hour, so that's going to happen sometimes. Obviously, there is one way around that problem, and that's to put the car into sports mode, and then it will always keep the engine running. Then you don't have the issue. Look. Now we're off. And we're off a lot. I'm going to do that again just as an example. So here we are. I'm going to floor it. Now we're off. Can you hear? Big difference, right? So you end up just driving everywhere in sport. which is not necessarily a problem, but it does mean you're going to have to go into the individual modes and set the car up if you want the comfy suspension in sport mode for the powertrain. But one thing that is slightly different, or an improvement over the GT63 SE hybrid 4-door thingy that I drove, is that I've done it again. I'm trying to tell you this, it's just shut off the blooming engine again. So here we go. I'm going to keep on doing it if you're going to keep on doing it. So here we go. 3, 2, 1, floor. We're on boost and going now. When it's going though, oh my God, it is definitely going. Oh, look here, got a McLaren 720S. Quite interesting to think that I've got quite a bit more power than he has. Say he, could be a she, let's find out. Hello, you alright? What do you think of my car? Do you like it? Yeah, it's good, isn't it? Do you want a little, yeah. Well, we can't race, that's illegal. I'm gonna have a look at the other one. Look at this is an interesting colour scheme. Hello? I think that might be his wife. Hello? Do you know that my car has more power than your car?
Yes.
Yeah. I'd race you, but I don't want to embarrass you. Anyway, back to what I was saying. I do think that when the engine is engaged and you floor it, it seems to respond a bit better than the GT63 SE hybrid, whatever it's called, 4-door version. Foot down. And there's the example of it all just being a bit hesitant. They seem to refine the system a little bit. Well, it seems that way. Speaking of refinement, you know, it is the AMG car, but still when you're just cruising along, it's quiet, it's relaxing, it's lovely. But so too is a normal S-Class hybrid. In fact, probably a bit more so because of the softer suspension. Speaking of which, what's it like in the back? Should we find out? Into the thing. Oh, right, here we go. Here in the back. There is nothing that really identifies this car as being an AMG. I'm not sure that's a bad thing. It feels like a super luxurious S-Class, which is exactly what it is. And unlike the Audi S8, which I had, this car, being the long wheelbase version, means you get all the special seating stuff, so I'm going to have a little bit of a play around with it. Let's get this front seat into the special airplane mode setting. So here we go. Oh, it takes ages, you know. Now this is where this AMG being a plug-in hybrid is good. We're just tootling along. My driver, camera moan Jack, is, yeah, camera moan. Always moaning. No, sorry, cameraman Jack. He's gonna be cross. Look, you can see it doing the leg thing. Like lifting up the legs. And then I just need a bit for my heels. Have you got anything for my heels? Oh yes you have, that's great. There we go. So here I am in a high performance car with over 800 horsepower, yet it's just like you'd expect from a luxury limousine. I'm going to mess around with some of the bits and pieces in here. So let's put the rear blind up. So just press that button there. Go on. There we go. Up it goes. Now I'm going to mess around with what's ever under here. Let's have a look at this. Storage. Oh, there's my phone while it's charging. And then I can control various features on the car using this little tablet down here. Come on, tablet. It's handy that is, because then when you've got the seat in this position, obviously you can't touch the touchscreen way up there like that. So you can just operate things here. There we go, booting up. And you can eject it. Brilliant. And we have a little place for your mobile phone there, but you can extend this for the cup holders, which look like eyes. It's funny that they do that, Mercedes. They love cup holders to look like eyes. And I can open the sunroof from back here as well. I'll just use this button down here. It's annoying that I can't use the sunroof in the front. I can't operate that. The driver has control over that. But it is very luxurious and very comfortable. And considering we're driving on some pretty rubbishy American highway roads, it's comfortable too. The AMG sport suspension doesn't feel so sporty from back here. Because it's air, it just deals with most undulations very well. The only time you feel the bumps is when you go over an expansion joint and it jolts slightly. I think it jolts a little bit more than a standard S-Class, just because it's an AMG. A bit more firm, a bit more. Anyway, we'll pick this up again in a moment when we're going a little bit faster and out of this traffic. Get me out of the traffic, driver! I don't know what just happened there, but the sunroof suddenly just opened I wonder if it's got gesture control or I just frightened it by shouting. Ah! No, that didn't do anything. Is it gesture? This is what I call proper motoring journalism. I have no clue about some of the features in the car. I'm just touching at things now randomly. Wait a minute. It's just shut again. Who knows? If you know, let us know in the comments. I'm clueless. Now the traffic has eased ahead, so we're moving along a bit better. So Jack, I'd like you to just try something for me. You know, sometimes when you have drivers that can't seem to just keep their foot still on the accelerator and they're always just flexing it slightly, I've got to just do a little test to find out whether that'd be worse in this plug-in hybrid version of the S63 AMG compared to the older versions. So just flex your right foot a little bit, go on, just a couple of times. Do you know what? From the back seat, that is worse because you've got that instant response from the electric motor that if you have a bad driver, you know, you haven't got the torque converter gearbox to just like smooth things out to hide the really poor throttle control. And you're just gonna, it's gonna be annoying. Now let's try just flooring it and see what the actual performance is like when we go for it. So I'm doing some work and then put the foot down. That's pretty intense. You definitely spill your champagne. Definitely. So then, what's my final verdict on the Mercedes AMG S63 E Performance? Should you avoid it? Should you consider it? Should you shortlist it? Or should you just go right ahead and buy it? Well, I reckon you should consider it. You see, well, it is quick. There's just something a little bit overly complex about the hybrid system and overly expensive about it too. Anyway, I hope you all enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a like. Let me know if you agree with my verdict in the comments below. Click on those windows there for some more videos and on that box there to go to CarWow to sell your car the easy way. All you have to do is upload some photos of your car, give a brief description, then dealers all across the country will bid on it. It's easy. Thanks for watching.